The reason the book is called Lucky Dog, How Being a Veterinarian Saved My Life is that I'm a veterinary surgical oncologist, which means I treat cancer in dogs and cats with surgery. And I was in a situation where I found a mass in my neck and realized that it was a thyroid mass and that it was new and that it was growing very fast. And because of the knowledge that I had about thyroid cancer in dogs, I was able to self-diagnose, and I actually did an ultrasound of my neck myself, and I really felt that it looked like thyroid cancer. I ultrasounded my own neck in my kitchen, and it's because my husband's a large animal vet. He was able to bring an ultrasound machine home so I could take a look and see what was going on in my neck. I had to wait over a week to get an ultrasound with our healthcare system, and I just didn't want to wait that long, so I went and took a look at things myself. A lot of the diseases that animals get are very similar to the ones that we see in people, and I deal with primarily cancer, and there's a lot of translational research where we can look at the disease in dogs and cats and then translate treatments into people that will help both people and animals. I had 2 surgeries, so I had the first surgery to remove the half of my thyroid gland that was affected, and then when it came back as a carcinoma, I had a second surgery to remove all of my thyroid tissue, and then I had radioactive iodine after that. The treatment in animals for thyroid cancer is a little bit different. So in dogs, we usually just remove 1/2 of the thyroid gland. Sometimes we treat with chemotherapy, but sometimes we don't. It depends on how high grade the mass is and how worried we are about it spreading or metastasizing. I had radioactive iodine to treat thyroid cancer after I had my entire thyroid gland removed. That involves going hypo, which is what they call in the thyroid cancer community, which means that you are off all thyroid medication and you also don't have your thyroid gland anymore. So that puts you in a situation where whatever thyroid tissue is left will take up iodine very avidly, because iodine is necessary to make thyroglobulin, which makes thyroid hormone. So you're in a situation where you're very hypothyroid for a period of weeks, and then you go on a low iodine diet to restrict the iodine available even more. Then you will go into the hospital and take a radioactive pill, which is iodine, which hopefully gets taken up by whatever remaining thyroid tissue there is, whether it's normal thyroid cells that are remaining after surgery or any thyroid cancer cells that have spread anywhere in the body. And then you are isolated for a period of time because you are actually radioactive during that period of time. I was lucky because I was able to be isolated in my home. My husband had to move out. I couldn't sleep with my cat and my dog, but it was only for about a week, and then I was able to go back to normal. It didn't really feel any different to be radioactive. You do feel a little bit sick though, because that radioactive pill is making its way through your entire intestinal tract, and so it does wreak some havoc along the way. So it's not the most fun, and then on top of it, you're still quite hypothyroid during that period of time. I had 3 periods where I had to recover, so from 2 surgeries and then the radioactive iodine. And I would say I'm not as good a patient as my dog patients are. They tend to go running out of the hospital, dragging their owner with a leash, and I definitely had periods of time where I didn't feel very good. But I think on the whole, I'm very lucky, you know, as far as the type of thyroid cancer treatment that I had compared to other cancer survivors.